Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and this is a yarn chat video. Okay, so I'm going to be taking notes, so hopefully I can let you know in the description all the links that I tell you, because I always say I'm going to tell you the links and sometimes I forget. So the main topic of this video is what I've been working on. But I will get... Okay, so what I started on, if you recall from the last couple of years, is I make all the kids in my class a hat. I did start trying to knit a hat, and then I frogged it out because it seemed like it was going to take me forever and I can make a hat real fast. But when I first was deciding I was going to knit the hat, I was really struggling with hook sizes, because the pattern was calling for one kind of, no, not hook, needle sizes. And so it was calling for one kind, and all I had was, so this is the crazy thing about knitting with circulars. Because you can knit a hat with two types of needles. This is, all you knitters that are watching this are probably laughing right now, and I'm sorry. You can either use the DPNs, which are double pointed needles, and you use like 4 of them to knit all the way around in a circle. Or you can do these circular needles, and that's where they have a little plastic loopy that connects the 2 needles, and your yarn just kind of hangs around that, and that's how you knit in a circle. I once saw this really funny picture on Facebook of a crochet hook, and it had a little face and mouth, and it had four DPNs on there. It's like, it only takes one of me to do what the 4 of you can do, because you can crochet in the round with just one hook, whereas knitting has to make it complicated. So after trying, I stopped over to Hobby Lobby, because the needles that I had the right needle size, but it was too big of a circular, and then the right circular size, I had too small of a needle. So then I went and bought these knitting needles from Yarnology. They were $7.99. I used my 40% off of one regular price item to get these, and you can see if you look really closely, these are the circular. So this is still the wrong needle size, but it's the right circular size. And then after talking to an experienced knitter, she said that she still thinks I would have to have a DPN to do the top. So I was like, forget it. I am not going to knit any of my second graders a hat. I am just going to crochet them the hats, because this is the deal. I've got to pump out 18 hats minimum. And then not only do I have to make 18, I like to make 20, a little bit extra, because I just feel sad that one kid would get stuck with just one hat. They don't get to choose. So what I do when I give them to my class is I lay out all the hats on the group table, and I pull a name, and they get to come up and choose the hat they want. And I would just feel horrible, you know? So I have decided to crochet. Now, in doing so, I can whip out a hat real quick. And I thought I'd quick show you. I'll put a link in the description to the video that I use to make these second grade hats. This is a very simple hat pattern. Video to make hat. That's what I'm writing here for you. Now, this video talks about making it with bulky yarn, but I will show you in this little stack down here that you can make it with any size yarn. You just have to adjust the stitch count. So the basic pattern is this. You crochet, and I want to say it's a chain of 27. And then you half double crochet in the back loop. Do you see that texture? How it has that look of being like an accordion? That's what gives this hat the stretch to it. Because if you notice, crochet hats aren't usually as stretchy as knitting hats. But you crochet half double crochets in the back loop, and you create this rectangle. Then you slip stitch your hat together along one side, okay? So essentially you have like this tube then. And then you take the remaining yarn. Well, what I do after I've slip stitched down one side, and I want to say depending, now this next part depends on whether you're using chunky yarn or worsted weight yarn. On a chunky yarn, you only need to do about 30 rows to fit a second grader's head. Mind you, I'm making these for second graders. When I make them out of like the worsted weight, I have to do more because, right, it's smaller yarn. Then I measure usually about the width of this hat up here 3 times. And then you sew, you get your darning needle and you kind of weave it in and out all the way along, and then you pull it and you cinch the hat together. I have one to show you what that step looks like. So this is what the top looks like. You sew all the way around the edge. You take this, you pull it really tight, and then you're left with this part of, this is what your hat looks like. That's phase 2, after you've cinched the top. Now this is the thing, is you need to use a pom-pom here, because this does not look real cute on top of their head. Okay, so that's phase 2. Phase 1 is crocheting your rectangle. Phase 2 is cinching the top. And then you put your pom-pom on. Now, last year, I bought the pom-poms off of Amazon, and they had little stretchy cords on them. Now, this was a bad idea. If you have someone who's a responsible hat wearer, it's not going to be that big of a deal, because they'll be careful with it. But, however, not really thinking this through, a bunch of the second graders got their hats dirty, and their moms took it, threw it in the wash, and guess what? These pom-poms cannot be put in the dryer. And a bunch of kids were coming to school with some really nasty looking pom-poms, and they were very sad. So what I did this year is I ordered off of Amazon the snap pom-poms. So you sew one, this is the third step. You sew one snapper on top of there, and then the pom-pom people have sewed one there. And they mail you this. So now, when I give this hat to my little second graders, I'm going to put a note into there for their moms and dads, is if you need to wash this hat, please unsnap the pom-pom, because it will not survive the wash. And then it will keep this cute, fluffy look. And then here is the hat. This is made with a variegated yarn from, let me get it out of here for you. This is from Michaels. This is Barcelona. In the colorway Hazel, this hat. And this is the only one that I completely finished. It has a pom-pom on it, because I just wanted to see what it would look like with a more worsted weight yarn. Because typically, like I said, the video is recommending that you make this with chunky yarn. And then last night, I made this hat while I was chatting with some friends with the Lion's Pride wool spun in the colorway Coffee, or Cafe if you're French or Spanish, right? And let's see what kind of, this is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. I believe this is all acrylic. Now here are some other hats that I've been making, and then I'm going to make one out of this. You can make one hat out of this that fits a second grader's head, which is about 7, 8, I guess, unless they have a real big melon, right? And so that is what, you'll have a little bit left over. I'm finding that it's about 115 yards to make a hat for a second grader. This is one of my favorite yarns. If you remember from last year, I was hoarding this up like you wouldn't believe. This is Lion Brand Woolies in the color Carousel. So I love that one. This is a hat. Now these ones don't have pom-poms on them yet. This one is made with, I love this Chunky from Hobby Lobby. I don't remember what color this one is. I threw away the ball band, because that's one of my husband's biggest pet peeves about me, is I leave the ball bands laying all over the place. This one is made with a variegated blue. I don't remember what colorway it is, but this is a different style hat. I'll put a link in the description to this hat too. I made this hat a lot. Sorry, the hangnail there. I made this one a couple, maybe 2 years ago, when I said, holy cats, that's a lot of hats. As you can see, this has a front post double crochet pattern that goes along here. First you crochet the brim, and then you crochet along the brim and start going round and round. Now they want you also to cinch that type of hat, but this one here, I just left it like this. I'm going to still put a pom-pom on this hat. This one I actually made a little while ago, and I just been saving it. Here is another. I love this Chunky from Hobby Lobby. I don't remember the colorway of this one either. I'm sorry. Oh, but I have an extra one. Let me see about getting it down for you. Okay, so this is, I bought this on clearance at Hobby Lobby for $1.24 a hat, a skein. And you can make one good hat out of this with a little leftover. This one is in the color, this has 109 yards. And it's 100% acrylic. The other one, I actually had an extra of that. That one is called, what are the colors of these? This is Heather Turquoise, and this is Berry Special, and then Dawn Rose. So these are some of the colors that I've been using. I bought these quite a while ago at Hobby Lobby in their big sale. I made this hat a while ago too, but I'm going to reuse this one. This is made from Hobby Lobby yarn. I love this yarn, glowing. No, Yarn Bee, glowing. I love this hat. I might actually end up still keeping it. It might be too big for a second grader's head. Yeah, and maybe I'll wear it for the rest of the video. Okay, so this is made with Karen Cake's chunky yarn. I have some yarn in my mouth. I actually originally had made a basket with this yarn on this channel a while ago, but it was very floppy because I've never mastered making a basket with yarn. They always end up being floppy and very unhappy. So I frogged it out and I made a hat. And it is a Karen Cake, so you can see it does have that striping. There's only one part that kind of bothers me, and that's where it's here. But I feel like if you flip this hat up and you put a pom-pom on it, it's really not that bad. So I have that hat. I have another one made out of this Heathered Aqua or Turquoise. This is a really old yarn that I have. I got this from a subscriber. I don't think she wants me to say her name. It's Michelle, but I won't tell you her last name. And she gave me this yarn. This is, I love this chunky, no, this is Serenity baby yarn. So I made this little blue hat. This is a variegated, and so it's all kinds of color changing. And I'm going to put a pom-pom on this one too. And then here is that Dawn Rose hat. I do think this must be for a much smaller child. Same stitch count, but this is a lot of chunkier yarn. This is a more chunkier yarn. So that's why you have to vary the size. Now, this is the exciting part, friends. Up till now, I have been only able to get these brown pom-poms as Snap off of Amazon. But you will not believe it. I was able to find Snap color pom-poms. So I'll put a link in the description to the color pom-poms because I honestly think if you're making a hat for a kid, and it's just best to have a Snap, in my opinion. Okay, so here is like this in like a really red fun one. Here's a light faux fur one. It's different than this color. Nope, actually it's not. It's identical. Here is, oh, this is one that I got from someone. I've yet to learn how to put these stretchy cord ones in without it being too loose. I've put buttons in there and I've twisted it up with yarn and double looped it. And I still think the pom-pom is kind of looser, but this is a much bigger pom-pom. I was going to try to use one. Here is a black and gray pom-pom. Here is a more grayer with a black pom-pom. Aqua, like the heathered gray. A white one. A purple. Pink. Hot pink. Look at how fun that is. I might keep that one for myself. And let's see here. The last 4 pom-poms. Kind of a purplish burgundy, bright navy blue, another faux fur brown one, and then kind of a lighter one. So I was super happy. Now you guys, these pom-poms are like 14 bucks each. No, 14 bucks for all of them. For this whole little set. This is the exciting thing, friends, is that with the cost of the pom-poms and me hoarding up this yarn at Hobby Lobby when it was $1.24, these hats basically end up costing me like $3 or $4 to make. Now, that's the supplies. It's obviously not the time. But I will tell you, I started making these hats just a couple days ago, and already I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hats here. So I only need to make 18. I have 10 boys in my class and 8 girls in my class. So I would like to have 11 boyish type hats and 8, 9 girlish type hats. I mean, as much as we like to be, you know, I'm being open-minded. I just want there to be a variety, and I want, for the most part, every kid to be able to choose the kind of hat that they would want. Oh, and then I'm going to make one out of this. That's what I'm going to be doing today. So there we go. That is my yarn chat on hats. I am going to show you something else. You like how I had the stages to show you if you want to make it? I am going to put, like I said, a link in the description to this pattern hat, because this one is that same as that blue. It has that front post double crochet. This is like my 2 favorite type of hats to make, because honestly, I can make a hat in about an hour. This one takes a little bit longer because you have to crochet this brim first, and then you attach it here. This hat here honestly takes, I mean, look at how quick it is. You just go back and forth for about 27 to 30 rows if you're using a chunky yarn, 30 to 40 if you're using a worsted. Then I slip stitch the side and I measure it on my child's head because Flynn's a 2nd grader. And then after that, I close it up. Oh, the last thing I was going to show you is the other stuff I bought at Hobby Lobby when I was trying to buy knitting needles, and then which I gave up. I may return these. I don't know. I bought these cute little highlighters. These were only $2.99. And it says, focus on fiber, make your stash stand out, emphasize your stitch. Yarn is the highlight of my day. Aren't those adorable? Like I said, teacher, so I hoard yarn and I hoard school supplies. And then these are some cute mechanical pencils. And it comes with a little pack of lead in there. And this one just has a llama down there and a little pattern on the side. This one is my favorite pencil because it's teal with a bunch of llamas. And here is a pink one with like a ball of yarn that's like a sun. And then here's a purple one with some little hot air balloons made out of yarns with little llamas in them. Aren't they adorable? And these also were only $2.99 for mechanical pencils, which was very exciting because I got this in a yarn swap box from Chris. And these are some erasers. And I thought, well, this is cute. I'll take these to my desk at school. Okay, friends, I think that's about it. Oh, you know what else? I'm going to put a description in the box in the link to the pom-poms on Amazon because that's where I'm buying them. And like I said, I highly recommend the buttons. They're very easy to sew the button on there and then snap your pom-pom on top. And they're a firm attachment, and I don't think they look all floppy like the ones with the elastic. And the really cute thing is when I ordered these, I got these little directions in the mail to show you how to, after getting your pom-poms in the mail, they can be kind of floppy, or misshapen. It tells you how to, says, your pom-pom may be slightly deformed due to shipping or handling. If so, please use a hairdryer to fluff it up. I was like, well, that was cute and thoughtful, don't you think? All right, so this is my favorite winter hat. I forgot how much I love it. I'm not giving it to a 2nd grader. Probably wouldn't fit their head anyway. I also have a really cute one that I made. I'll put a link in the description to this one too. It's of course by Bag O'Day. I love that hat. And I made it with a alpaca blend, so it was real fuzzy. But every time I wear it, I start to feel a lot of fibers by my face. But that's it. I think that is all the videos that I was going to make for you guys, my friends. Oh, I do have one more video to make after this. But that's it. That is what I've been doing. I can't call this video Holy Cats. That's a lot of hats because I've used it up again already. But this is the time of year I'm pumping out the hats for my 2nd graders. This will just be a yarn chat. I don't know what number it is. I haven't looked it up. And so I'll put this yarn chat. It's basically about hats, whether or not to knit or crochet. I recommend crocheting them. It's just so much faster. You can make a hat in an hour, especially if you follow this rectangle pattern where you cinch them up at the top, turn it inside out, and pop a pom-pom on there. All right, friends. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Thanks for liking and sharing my videos. And until the next video, happy crafting. Bye.